Hi girls, Miss Gaska here. Today I'm going to go over English 4 Semester 1 Week 1, Activity 1.2, Perception is Everything. So during this activity we're going to learn to examine the concept of perception as it applies to literary analysis and interpret and explain a quotation in discussion and in writing. Our literary strategy, or learning strategies, are not think, pair, share, but we are going to summarize, paraphrase, and sketch, apparently. So literary theory. Until we realize the world is full of ideologies, theories, and biases through which we filter our understanding of our own and others' experiences, we are blind to much of the world. As we read or react to the world around us, competing perspectives color the way we interpret literature and life. So basically what that's saying is that because of the experiences of our backgrounds, because of the things that we've gone through, the way we see life is going to be different. The way I see life is going to be different from the way you see life, or the way that my cousin sees life, or the way that your uncle sees life, so on and so forth. So unless we understand what our filters are, what those biases are, then the way that we see the rest of the world is going to be very limited. We're not going to have a very open mind to imagine other people's perspectives. So literary theory is a study of ways to analyze texts by thinking about them from different perspectives. So studying literary critical theories can help a reader become aware of competing perceptions of truth and learn that a text, like life, is seen through a filter of ideologies, theories, and perspectives. So being able to apply these different theories to a text expands the limits of a reader's worldview and adds dimensions to reading and understanding a text. Critical theory highlights the fact that there is no one simple vision of the truth. Truth is a complicated product of multiple perspectives. So basically what it's talking about is when you're reading, you have to consider the different ideologies that may have been present to that author. Depending on who the author is, when they wrote what they wrote, how is that influenced? Or how does that influence show up in the way that that work is intended to be read and the way that we as readers read it? So, number 1 says, examine the perception puzzles provided by your teacher and reflect how one image can be perceived in 2 ways. So those perception puzzles are going to be uploaded on Canvas for you to look at in order to answer this question. Number 2 says, after examining the perception puzzles, discuss with the partner. Well, you're not going to need to talk about that one because you don't have a partner. So I'm going to go ahead and cross that out so you don't have to worry about it. So, number 3 says, an aphorism, I'm going to highlight that because I don't think you've heard that word before. An aphorism is a short statement using usually one sentence that uniquely expresses an opinion, perception, or general truth. Okay? Kind of like life is like a box of chocolates, you never know what you're going to get, which everybody pretty much agrees with. It's like you never do know what you're going to get with life. So from the following list, choose 3 to 5 aphorisms that you especially like. So it says with the group, I'm going to cross out the with the group part, but I still want you to do the activity, which is to paraphrase the aphorisms you have chosen and explain how they relate to the idea that seeing and understanding are always shaped by how we perceive the world. So you're supposed to choose 3 to 5. So I'm just going to choose 1 and do that with you. So, until lions tell their stories, tales of hunting will glorify the hunter. So to me, a way to paraphrase this would be the person who has the ability to speak about a situation is the one who gets to spin it the way they want. Sometimes perspectives are limited by circumstance. So imagine that you are in a fight and you won the fight. But the other person, you never see them again. Nobody ever sees them again. They move to a different country or something. Well, now you're the only one around who could talk about that situation because nobody else knows what happened unless they saw it. So you can tell that story however you want. You could glorify yourself, meaning like you can really jazz up the story. You can make it look like you were some hero defending the weak or something like that, because nobody's around to say otherwise. When you have multiple perceptions, though, it paints a clearer image of what really happened, but it can also take somebody who might have been seen as a hero and make them a little bit off their pedestal, so to speak. So as you go through each of these phrases, pick 3 to 5 that you like and paraphrase them. Then, to check your understanding, create an original aphorism expressing your perception or a general truth about the world. So think about something that you want to comment on in the world that is general or applies to most things, and then that will be your aphorism. So for me, I'm going to say, success is like a cake. If you don't work hard, all you'll have are the ingredients. So that's my aphorism. So success is like a cake. If you don't work hard, all you'll have are the ingredients, meaning you have the things it takes to be successful, but unless you put them together and work hard, then it's never going to amount to success. Just like a cake, you can have egg, you could have flour, you could have sugar, whatever else you need to bake a cake, but unless you put them together and work hard and mix all the ingredients, then you're never going to have a cake. You're still just going to have the eggs, the flour, whatever. Now, this part says, writing to sources explanatory text. Choose an aphorism from the list and write an interpretive response explaining the truth it conveys. Use appropriate pre-writing strategies to structure your ideas. Be sure to provide a clear statement that expresses your interpretation, provide examples and reflective commentary, and use effective transitions and maintain the flow of ideas. So you're going to be writing a paragraph. You could write it either here on the side or as a separate file, and you're going to make sure that you hit all of these bullet points. Then for independent reading plan. Reading independently gives you a chance to expand your knowledge about topics that fascinate you, while also reinforcing and deepening the learning you are doing in class. Each of the literary theories you will study in this course can help you analyze and understand your independent reading texts in new and enlightening ways. So, you're not going to discuss your independent reading plan, but you're going to think about something that you might want to read. How do you go about choosing what to read independently? Where can you find advice on which books or articles to read? So you might want to think about who you know who knows about different kinds of books that you might be interested in. What genre of text do you most enjoy reading outside of class? Genre is basically what kind of text. So if you like comedy, if you like romance, if you like horror, if you don't know what genre you might like, go to Google and type in book genres and see all the different things that pop up. How can you make time in your schedule to read independently? This one's kind of a hard one because I know a lot of people don't like to fit reading into their schedule, but they say that the best thing for your brain for you to do is to do 30 minutes of reading a day. Now, it may seem like a lot, but you could break it down into 3 10-minute sessions or 6 5-minute sessions, just reading whenever you go to the bathroom or reading whenever you are in the car or, reading when you're getting ready for bed or something like that. So there are many different ways you could fit time into your schedule to read independently. At the very least, try to read for 15 minutes a day to get started and then build yourself up to that 30. The next one is, how do you think literary theory might change your perspective of the texts you are reading independently? So that means like learning about these things that you're learning in class, how do you think it might change the way that you see your books that you're reading? And then finally, look at the independent reading link and think about which text or author you plan on reading during the first half of Unit 1. So it says, perspectives such as Amy Tan, Barbara Kingsolver, Julia Alvarez, Robert Heinlein, and Jamaica Kincaid. So those were the suggestions. So that's all for this activity. I'll see you in the next activity, 1.3, Importance of Perspective. Thanks for watching. Take care.